Welcome to Toastmaster Time TV, the show that got everybody talking. I'm your host, Adrian Jefferson Chofor, and you are in for an amazing show. Do you want to know why? We have two district leaders here with us today, so you are in for an amazing show. And we have an evaluator who is going to evaluate their speeches. He's no stranger to the show, though. But he is making his debut as an evaluator, so I am happy to welcome Manoj Ramanan. He is with the Pleasanton Community Toastmasters Club. Manoj, tell us what's in store for our viewers.
Thank you, Adrian. Today we are in for a treat. We have two district leaders who are going to regale us with stories, and I am truly excited to be here and to be given the opportunity to evaluate their speeches. Back to you, Adrian.
Thank you, Manoj. Well, without further ado, we're going to start with Kevin Markl. He's going to be our first speaker. Kevin is a program quality director for District 57. Welcome, Kevin. Good to have you on the show again.
Thank you so much, Adrian.
I have to say again because I don't believe this is your first time.
No, we were here 6 months ago, just after the district leaders were elected back in August.
Oh my goodness. Now, how are things going in your new... Matter of fact, tell us about your role. What is that about?
The program quality director is responsible for all the conferences, the training events, and educational programs and experiences that our members have in their clubs. So I'm responsible for making sure our members have a fantastic experience as they go through the Toastmasters program.
Wow, that is a big responsibility to make sure we're having an optimal experience as Toastmasters, but you're handling it so well. Look at that big smile. How long have you been a Toastmaster, Kevin?
I've been a Toastmaster almost 8 years now. It seems so long now.
Oh, wow. Well, we're so happy to have you with this district. And I'm going to let you get ready to give your speech. We can't wait to hear it. In the meantime, I'm going to tell our viewers a little bit more about Pathways. Pathways is a curriculum that we're now using in Toastmasters International. We no longer use the manuals. With Pathways, we have 10 paths with 5 levels, building on complexity. This dynamic program has been well received in Toastmasters. Now I'm going to welcome back our evaluator, Manoj, to tell us more about what Kevin's going to be working on in his speech. Hey there. So tell us, what is Kevin working on?
Kevin is going to speak from a path called Motivational Strategies, and his project is called Connect Through Storytelling.
Wow. Well, I look forward to hearing it, so shall I go ahead and introduce it?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it. So Kevin Markl, fresh start, a fresh start. Kevin Markl.
21 years ago, I stood on the side of the road about to embark on a fresh start. I looked around me and all I saw was darkness in the crisp morning air at 5 a.m. in Switzerland. I had just arrived days before from Canada and I was starting school at ski camp. I turned around looking to see my parents, to wonder, where should I go in this parking lot? I didn't know where I should be, but when I looked, they were nowhere to be found. My parents abandoned me again on another ski trip. I heard in the distance my name. Kevin, is there a Kevin Markl? And so I looked down, I picked up my skis, I picked up my bag, and I walked to that sound. And there was tall but short Penny O'Dale, my teacher. Kevin, drop your bags over there and get on the bus. I dropped my bags, I got on the bus, and all I saw were strangers. I didn't know where I was going to be and where we were going. All I knew was that I had to get a seat. I crashed out because no teenager likes to be up at 5 in the morning. And when I woke up, the sun shone through the windows, and I was told to get off the bus. I had no idea what was happening and just followed the marching orders as I went through this Swiss village. I was not comfortable at all being ordered around and told what to do and how I should be doing it. I was happy the next day that we'd be finally hitting the ski slopes where I felt comfortable and felt at home. I clicked on my skis, I checked my gloves, and I pushed off to the ski lift. Today was going to be a great start to ski camp. And as I got on the T-bar to go up the hill, I was getting pulled up, and off my skis. I came tumbling to the ground because I was just too small and didn't have enough weight to make it up the T-bar without getting pulled into the air. Even though I went down to the bottom and tried again, and even a third time, I just couldn't get up. I was away from home. I had fallen to the ground for the third time, and I was demoralized. I was away from home, from my parents. I didn't have any friends, and I wasn't having any fun. But that's when I met Ed. Ed would be my best friend going through school. He helped me up the T-bar, and when we got up the T-bar, we started having fantastic ski runs, going through the trees, going on the bumps. We were having a fantastic time. Everything started turning around once I made that connection with Ed. And it wasn't just that connection with Ed that turned it around. It was all the fun things that we got to do, both on the slopes and off. Not only did we get to ski off cliffs, we also got to play fun, practical jokes on each other. We got to eat as much food as we want in the cafeteria. We even got to stay up late at night to tell scary stories. And it was at the end of the ski trip, at the end of ski camp, where everything really fell into place. I raced down the ski slopes for that final race, and I was crowned at the end of that day number 1. I was recognized as one of the only Canadians at this school in Switzerland who had accomplished that feat and accomplishment. It was that recognition that really set the event apart for me. It was being guided by Ed through all the different paths I had to take on my journey at ski camp. It was all the fun that we had, both on and off the slopes. It was being warmly greeted by Ed and shown the way that made all the difference. It's this type of experience that we need to think about through the eyes of the guests of our Toastmasters clubs and our members when they're at our meetings. We need to think about how they're being greeted when they enter the room. Make sure that as they're going through all this, they're being recognized for all of their accomplishments and having so much fun on the way. Recognition, development, fun, those are the 3 key goals and objectives of our district and what can really make an experience memorable for our Toastmasters. Please keep the thoughts and feelings of your members in mind and your guests as they visit your clubs to make sure they have a fantastic experience during each and every meeting.
Well, that was a great speech. What did you think about that?
Wow,
Manoj?
that was amazing. Every good speech needs a particular arc, right? I loved how Kevin started off with humor, and then there was an arc where he went through issues where he faced some challenges,
Right.
and then like an underdog story, how he came out of it. I loved the structure that he gave to the story. I especially loved his grand body language and vocal variety. He
Yes.
truly brought that story to life for me, and I felt like I was
agree.
there with him as he went through the story. The other thing I loved was the segue to Toastmasters and his clear call to action. Beautiful story told, very clear, very crystal. The one area where I feel he could have even made it an even better speech was maybe have some dialogue with his friend Ed. Right? I loved all the emotions that he brought in, but maybe some dialogues there would have brought that home and propelled us even forward. But overall, what a great speech.
I agree. I like the body movement. I noticed also he had the facial expressions. Is very good with facial expression and gestures, and how he brought us into that story. We just felt like we were there with him.
You were there with him,
Exactly,
absolutely.
like you said, just segue right into the Toastmasters experience. Thank you for that insightful feedback. I really appreciate that. So at this time, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with Toastmasters Time TV. Don't go anywhere.
Name an effective political leader in history who couldn't speak well.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
There aren't any.
Because when it comes to a disease,
Freedom requires leadership, and leadership requires oratory. You have to speak to be heard.
I have a dream.
It's all about personal growth and guts.
Never give in. Never, never, never.
Welcome back to Toastmaster Time TV, the show that got everybody talking. I'm here with our second distinguished guest, Jenny Liu. Jenny is a District 57 officer as well. She is our administrative manager, and I'm very pleased to bring her to, not bring her, but have her on the show. Welcome, Jenny. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much, Adrian.
It's good to have you. Is this your first time at Toastmaster Time TV?
Absolutely.
It is, absolutely. So how many clubs are you with, Jenny?
I'm a part of 3 clubs, 1 in each district.
Tell us, which clubs are they?
Right now, 1 is Laugh Lovers, and then I'm also transferring into Tales and Tellers. The other 2 is in District 4, San Mateo Storytellers, and in District 101, Next Step Toastmasters.
You're so busy. That's just amazing. Now, what brought you to Toastmasters?
Great question. One of my mentors wanted to elevate the leadership and communication skills of an organization called Chinese American Biopharmaceutical Society. Sounds like a mouthful, but English is a second language for most of its members, who are scientists. Therefore, I thought, when I was at Genentech, I was introduced to their Toastmaster Club, and I saw the success of that, and I suggested, why not start one for CABS? And that's how I learned all the benefits of Toastmasters.
It sounds amazing. Well, I'll let you get ready to give your speech. And in the meantime, I'm going to just share a few words about Toastmasters with our viewer. So just stay right there. So Toastmasters organization, we have over 350,000 clubs worldwide. As you can see, Jenny has joined quite a few herself. So if you would like to know more about Toastmasters, you can also join a club near you. But in the meantime, let's find out a little bit more about the speech that Jenny is going to give. We are going to welcome back Manoj. He is going to share with us her objectives. So tell us, Manoj, what is Jenny working on?
So Jenny is working on a path called visionary communication.
Okay.
But her project is the same as Kevin's, which is connect through storytelling. However, the objective is to drive home a message which is larger than life, which addresses a bigger audience.
Okay, well, this is going to be fascinating. Oh, we are in for a treat.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm happy to announce Jenny Liu, A Tale of Two Tellers. A Tale of Two Tellers, Jenny Liu.
Has a story ever changed your life? Do you wish you can do the same for someone else? Want to know how? It starts with a tale of two tellers. Growing up, I was one of those tellers who told truths. My parents were too busy running Chinese restaurants to read any stories with me as a kid. My dad would say, "Jenny, the key to success is education. Study hard, get a good job, get married, and have grandkids to make us happy." That was his short version for the formula for success. And like any filial pious daughter, I used the books as my pillow, hoping that knowledge would seep in to my brain every night. By day, hiding behind those jeers of me being a bookworm. In class, I would spew out facts and trivia like a machine gun. Pi is 3.1459 supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Everything seemed peachy keen and wonderful until one day, one classmate said, "Jenny, who cares what you know and what you say? What does it mean for us?" My heart sank. I thought I was doing well. I was getting good grades. I was doing everything that my parents taught me to do. When I reflected, maybe there was some truth to that. Maybe that's why I didn't get elected as a club officer. Maybe that's also why I didn't get the green job. Luckily, I graduated from MIT, PhD, MONEY. That helped me get in the door to get a job. But at the same time, I tried my best and I could not get promoted. I was at a point of despair where I had nothing to lose. I asked my colleagues, "Who's that charisma cure carpenter?" Even though nobody met her, everyone heard about her in a good way. She had this flair for marketing. Even if you had plaid, plain clothes, she found a way to dress it up, just like with the words about any events with a story. It was like packaging. I asked her, "Charisma, what is your secret to storytelling?" She told me, "It's 3 C's, just like my name. First, character. What is your Shiro's traits? Second, climax. What problem is she confronting? Third, conclusion. What is the resolution that transforms her to save the day?" How did you hear about all this? Toastmasters. After hearing that, I ran to all 3 districts in the Bay Area, and I joined not but 1, but 3 Toastmasters clubs, 1 in each of the 3 districts. The first club helps me tell tales, impromptu or in a prepared speech. The second club helps me uncover humor, which is an invisible story to unleash or to release tension, whether it's at work or in life. The third club helps me take the next step with feedback to grow from district leaders and contest winners. With all of this progress, I hope this now becomes a tale of 3 tellers, with you sharing your story to help someone. As Steve Jobs, an entrepreneurial founder and executive in Silicon Valley, said it best, the most powerful person in this world is the storyteller, who sets the vision, values, and agenda for an entire generation that is to come.
Well, what enthusiasm. I really enjoyed Jenny's speech. I have to get your feedback on this. Of course, as an evaluator, I must, but tell me, what did you think?
I thought it was a really energetic speech. Right from the start till the end, Jenny's speech really captivated me. I loved how she used dialogue, she used vocal variety to introduce us to characters.
Right.
I loved how she used her whole body to express the different emotions she felt at different parts of her journey. And again, I loved the segue to Toastmasters.
Yes.
No wonder she's part of 3 clubs. Because
agree.
I felt her speech was energetic, it was passionate, and the ending was powerful. It had a message. And especially, I love the way she said a tale of 3 tellers, including us as the audience, to really drive home the point. I just felt she had so much energy that maybe one thing she can work on is, after she's made a point, to come back to her default state and maybe just have her hands next to her hips. But otherwise, it was a dynamic performance. It was energetic. It really, I mean, I loved both the speeches.
I did too.
Absolutely.
I did too. I think they both mastered in storytelling. They were compelling. So you wanted to know where they're going to go with their story.
Absolutely.
And I understand what you're saying too, as far as the pausing, just so that we didn't feel like we were, it was go, go,
Absolutely.
go.
Just so that the message hits home even more powerfully.
But I love the energy that she brought to it as well.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
that was wonderful. Thank you so much. It was so good having you on the show.
Thank you so much, Adrian.
Good to have you. So we're going to take a short break right now. You're watching Toastmaster Time, and don't go away. We'll be right back.
Name an effective political leader in history who couldn't speak well.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
There aren't any.
Because when it comes to a disease,
Freedom
like this,
requires
there
leadership,
are no
and leadership requires
priorities.
oratory. You have to speak to be heard.
I have a dream.
It's all about personal growth and guts.
Never give in. Never, never, never.
All right.
Just go with the flow.
Welcome back to Toastmaster Time TV, the show that got everybody talking. So I'm here with our evaluator, Manoj. We have a few minutes, so let's find a little bit about Manoj. So you're with the Pleasanton Community Toastmasters Club. Now, how long have you been a Toastmaster?
I've been a Toastmaster for about 3 years now. I'm also part of a club called Speakers Forum. That's also based out of Pleasanton.
What's the difference?
So Pleasanton Community Toastmasters is a very vibrant club with more than 30 people.
Wow.
And it's got a great mix.
Yeah.
Speakers Forum is an advanced club that's only for speakers who have given an amount of speeches. There's so many advanced, experienced Toastmasters there, and the evaluation is a little different. So you get a different perspective on areas to improve from there.
Wow, that sounds fascinating. So what would you say is the difference in an evaluation that you would get in your Pleasanton Community Club and Speakers Forum?
So Pleasanton Community Club follows a more traditional model of evaluation. So there would be a speaker and there would be one evaluator to evaluate that speech. At Speakers Forum, we do it differently. So at Speakers Forum, there will be 10 people or maybe 20 people in the room, and the evaluation time is 5 minutes. So people will get to give quick, crisp, round-robin feedback, and most of them will be direct, wanting you to improve, because when you join that club, you're assumed to have gotten through the initial set of speeches, so you are more confident about getting more direct feedback.
And what encouraged you and motivated you to want to join an advanced club?
At that time, I was wanting to compete in the public speaking championship speeches, which is organized by Toastmasters every year. We have one coming up next year, and I'm excited about that. So that was one of the primary driving forces. The other thing is I love the connection that Toastmasters has. I was looking to join a secondary club, and I thought this was a great club to join.
So what would you advise our viewers as far as if they want to become better public speakers, they're already in a club, would you advise them to do something similar?
Oh, absolutely. I would say, Jenny is a great example for that, right? She's been in Toastmasters for just about a year, but what a powerful performance she gave. I think when somebody really wants to improve their public speaking, I would encourage them to join as many clubs as possible. 2 was kind of the stretch for me, but maybe if depends on people's priorities. But yeah, absolutely, they should join multiple clubs.
Wow, that's a great experience, and thanks for sharing your personal experience. Now, what else are you doing within Toastmasters? I know you have many roles. So what are some of the other things you're doing?
I'm right now the area director for H28 in Division H. So I handle 4 clubs under my area, and my job is to kind of motivate the club leaders to meet their club's goals, which means every member in their club achieves their goal of becoming better speakers by giving more speeches, taking on more roles, and growing their communication and leadership skills.
Wow. Now, how did you get into that? Did they just drag you into that role? How did that work? How did you become an area director?
I wouldn't say they dragged me into it. I had a couple of folks in my club, David Dye and Bill Holsey.
So you had mentors.
I had mentors, absolutely.
Ah.
And I saw the amount of growth they went through taking
Yes.
on a district leadership role. And that, really encouraged me to just say yes.
And we're so happy you've done that. Manoj, you're just doing wonderfully in this district and such an asset to the district. And I know that other district leaders, they look to you. I think were you involved in a train?
Yeah, I was part of the Train the Trainer event that happened in November. I was one of 4 trainers, and I was glad to have gotten that opportunity as well.
District 57 is very lucky to have you. Thank you so much. And again, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
So I'm going to let if you would like to know more about our show, Toastmaster Time TV, please visit us at toastmastertime.com and toastmastertimetv.com. And we are proudly sponsored by District 57. And if you'd like to learn more about District 57, please visit us at www.d57tm.org. And to find a Toastmasters club near you, and trust me, there is one, please visit www.toastmasters.org. And that is going to be our show for today. I would like to thank first those volunteers who volunteer here at the studio in beautiful Palo Alto. We'd like to thank you for your hard work, and we also like to thank our evaluator, Manoj Ramanan, for coming today, and also our guest speakers, Kevin Markl and Jenny Liu, for giving wonderful speeches today. We really appreciate it. And that will be our show. I'm your host, Adrian Jefferson Chofor. That's Toastmasters Time TV. Keep on talking. Until next time. All right.